There's a belief that a lot of leaders carry, sometimes without even realizing it, that if they're competent and well-intentioned, that should be enough. They think, if I'm good at my job and I care about people, I'm not a bad boss. That should count for something. And it does count for something, but here's the misconception. Being a good leader and being an effective leader are not the same thing. And the gap between these two is where influence quietly disappears. The cost of this gap is real, and it's often invisible to the leaders themselves. You can be respected without being trusted. You can be liked without being followed. You can have the title, the experience, the track record, and still lose your team's engagement without understanding why. I see this all the time. A leader who's doing everything right on paper, but their team is disengaged. People aren't bringing their full effort. There's compliance, but there's no commitment. The leader feels it. Something's off, but they can't pinpoint that. And because nothing is overtly broken, they don't change anything. They keep doing what they've always done, and the drift continues. The cost isn't always dramatic. It can be slow. And the ideas don't get shared. The feedback doesn't come. The talent that quietly leaves for somewhere that they feel more connected. Here's what I want to offer. Good. It's a baseline. It's table stakes. It's the minimum to not be a problem. But in today's workplaces, people aren't just looking for leaders who aren't bad. They're looking for leaders who make them feel something, seen, valued, connected to the work. The bar has shifted, and it's not because people are needier or more demanding. It's because people have more options, more information, and less patience for relationships that feel transactional. Good intentions don't equal influence. Competence doesn't equal connection. And respect doesn't automatically become trust. The leaders who thrive now aren't just skilled, they're relatable. They're not just knowledgeable, they're present. They understand that their impact isn't measured by what they know, but by how people experience them. Let me make this more concrete. Think about a leader you've had who was technically awesome. They were smart, they were capable. Maybe they were even supportive in their own way, but something was missing. You didn't feel like you could be fully honest with them. You didn't feel like they really knew you. You performed for them, but you didn't go the extra mile. Now think about a leader who made you feel like you mattered. Think about a leader that maybe they weren't the most polished, maybe they made mistakes, but you trusted them. You wanted to do good work for them. You felt connected. What's the difference? It's not competence, it's connection. It's the sense that they see you, not just your output, that they're paying attention, that they care about your experience, not just your performance. That's what enough looks like now. Not just doing the job, making people feel like they're part of something, like their leader actually knows them. So what does this mean practically? First, stop measuring your leadership by your intentions. Start measuring it by your impact. Ask yourself, how do people actually experience me? Not how do I hope they experience me? How do they actually experience you? If you're not sure, that's data. Let's find out. Second, prioritize presence over performance. In your next one-on-one, put away the agenda for the first few minutes. Actually ask how the person is doing. Listen to the answer and let them feel your attention. It's not wasted time. That's where trust is built. Third, get curious about the gap. If you sense something's off with your team, if engagement feels low, but people feel guarded, don't assume it's them. Get curious about what might be missing in how you're showing up. That curiosity itself is an act of leadership. The shift isn't massive. It's not about becoming a different person. It's about becoming more present, more attuned, more willing to connect beyond the task. Being a good leader isn't enough anymore. Not because the standard is unfair, but because good was always just the starting point. The leaders that actually follow, the ones who build trust, retain talent, create real engagement, they figured out that leadership isn't about what you know, it's about how you make people feel. And that is something you can start changing today.